Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Now today we're going to be talking about the top 20 NASCAR crashes of 2020. This is by YouTuber DDH80 88. I will obviously leave a link to the video in the description. Now this is a little bit different video. So this is you probably have seen my F1 video where I talked about Roman Grosjean and Lance Stroll's crash. This time I'm going to be talking about the top 20 crashes of 2020. Basically, in his opinion, I'm not going to give my opinion on, I was like, that one shouldn't be there and everything. I'm just going to just see the crash, and then I will obviously review what happened to it. I think they will, Fox or NBC will obviously have to slow motion and will also talk about it as well, but if you want to basically hear my perspective on it, go ahead. It's a weird decision, you can do that. So, this one is in Darlington. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott being headed into the wall head on into the inside wall. I think that's also safe a barrier, and it comes right up, and everyone avoids. A little bit of contact there. Look, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this video first. Okay, so it does watch, so it does show the replay. So this is Kyle Busch, and that's Chase Elliott. Those are our main people we want to talk about. So Kyle Busch obviously along the inside, and on Darlington, if you don't know, you mainly want to take out the you mainly want to go around the outside on turn one. Why? Because that's just how the track is normally designed. So Chase Elliott basically has a racing line. What Kyle Busch wants to do is that he wants to get up behind him and basically get like a big run off turn two and go on the backstretch and pass him. However, he misjudged that and clipping his left rear quarter panel, which is like basically like just a blind spot for the drivers, not even knowing that he is there. And that obviously sends the Napa 9 Chevrolet into a spin, head on into the inside wall. If I can even click on the video, and yes I can, head on straight into the wall, and then he obviously comes right back up against the outside wall, and I think yeah, and you can't really see that much. Okay, so here's like a slow motion replay, head on. So Kyle Busch, you can tell that the gloves, even though you can't really see yet, the gloves are, okay, so it's not 45 Yeah, so you see the car's already just turning right, and he did not mean to turn him intentionally. He just trying to get into the space, but behind him, just so he can get like a draft, basically follow him, and that was just by pure accident. Obviously, Chase didn't really agree with that and flipped him off, basically. Head on right into the wall. Pow. A little bit of air coming out, and then starts coming back up the racetrack. And all these cars are trying to miss. This one, I actually don't remember. I think this was just like the big one. I think in Texas, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is the big one. So yeah, you can already see the problem. There are 6 cars in one pack. It will like even like I'm gonna say up to Austin Dillon. All these cars are in basically one bubble. You basically know what's gonna happen. Eric Almirola in the number 10, which is that one. So where my mouse cursor is. Eric Almirola gets. Well, I think he wasn't really clear, so he just went up and hit Kurt Busch, which is the number 1 guy. That's a pathetic circle. So that's Kurt Busch. This is Kyle Busch again. Um, Goes up right him, turns him, and then clips his teammate Martin Truex Jr. into the outside wall hard. Goes into the grass. Goes Kyle Busch, and more cars are spinning, and more cars are spinning. A really great wreck for those drivers. Obviously, everyone's just avoiding it. And so slow motion replay, coming out of turn 4. You see that's Ryan Blaney gets a little bit loose, and Logano almost tags him, and Logano's also loose, goes in front of Kevin Harvick in the number 4 car, and then there's his whole little pack. Aaron Roller turns Kyle Busch, which sends Truex into the wall, and when he, oh okay, we can't see the, but everyone else is in the grass, and they'll also turn right into the outside wall, and basically being collected. We can get into that angle, please, Fox. I think it's just Fox. I actually have no clue. You see William Byron. That is, I don't know who that is because of the smoke. I see Cole Custer there. I think that is the 17 of Ricky of Chris Busher, there we go. It's a little bit loose there, which basically triggers the whole thing. Arm roller wasn't clear. Goes up. Yeah, everyone also wants to try and avoid the grass as well. And this is basically where we get to see everyone. Yeah, so everyone's just in the grass. There goes Byron, spinning out. Couple hard hits as well for Truex, which is the 19 car. And this is an Xfinity car. Oh, and there it goes. Okay. Well, that was a very, very quick one. I was not even ready. So, Riley Herbst, yes, that is his name, Riley Herbst, number 18, gets turned around, I think, by the 16. So, by the 16, spins him right into the path of the number 8. So, there's a number 8. Right in the path of there, and turns him in the left rear quarter panel. And also hits the number 1 of Michael and Ned, basically head on the driver's side's door. And then the number 8 of Daniel Hemrick goes spinning into a obtuse looking angle. A hard hit onto the inside wall. And then obviously Herbst's damage as well. Beating across. Michael Netta, because I think it was actually front end. Yeah, it was. So he goes spinning into these two cars. What the fuck was that? Goes spinning to these two cars. So he was basically deflected off both of them and goes spinning this direction. Hemrick is also spinning in that direction, locks up his brakes, almost collecting AJ Allmendinger, who basically preceded the whole thing, and goes head on right into the wall. Was braking, so it gets a little bit of air off it as well. Number 17. So this is getting out of the Truck Series, and already spins, actually multiple spins actually. Oh my, okay, a lot of shit just happened here, and I can't really break everything, all of those fucking down. Holy shite. Okay, so I need the replay, please. This is Fox Sports. If you can. Okay, so this is the grade on board. This is by Matt Crafton in the number 88. Entering turn 4, and looks like I think someone got loose below the 23, and that just caused all the pile up in the grass. Have a look. Oh, no, never mind, he just touches him. So number 4 of Rafael Lassard touches the 23 of Brent Moffitt and sends him spinning, and direct spin, basically trying to counter the spin just to save it, counter spins and hits the 26 of Tyler Ankrum, and then deflects off him and starts spinning against the 75. I think that's Parker Kligerman, and they're both going into the grass. I think towards pit road. Tyler Ankrum was just pancaked into the wall by Lassard. Panks it again because I think he just lost steering, and he's also on fire because of how he hit it. This one. So this is what we would like to call as either payback or intentional wrecking. Even though you guys already know what that is. So obviously, we don't really care about that one. Okay? We just care about what I have behind them. So if they would like to show me another replay of it, that'd be fantastic. But basically what happened. The number 99 of Ben Rhodes, okay, here. Ben Rhodes passes him, but then 18 comes out and then just exiting turn 4, if I can get to the right timestamp. Entering turn 4, you see that Ben Rhodes is just in front of him already of the 18 of Christian Eckes. But then he gets side draft off him, and you see just easily the truck just turns left into him, into the quarter panel, and sends him a hard spin, making him possibly the most hated Gander Auto Truck Series driver in the series, and he also rear ends the wall, very, very hard. Not really great for him. Comes back down. Seeing sense spinning, basically does a full, almost a 360, and bang on right in the rear end. And then that obviously deflects the energy from the wall to the truck, and having the truck also have another spin hitting the front end of it as well. And he's now sent spinning into the grass. Basically, the grass is a way just to stop crashes. Here's another one on Pocono. This is a pretty big one as well. So I think this is a multi-car wreck. You can always see. So The number 9 of Nora Gregson, this one right here, gets in front. I think that is the 21. I don't know who's driving. I think that's Anthony Alfredo currently. I don't actually. It gets a little bit loose, and then you see intently he comes down. He basically just comes down and wrecks him on purpose. Simpson spinning terms of cancel spin. Can't save it. That points him into a different direction, hitting the number. I actually don't know who that. I think that's a number 68, and then that's hitting the number. Okay, never mind. So that's the number 8 when he basically went spinning across the racetrack. Gets hit by the 22. That's a 7 car as well. The number 8 sends spinning by the number 9 across the racetrack, hitting the number 22 on the side, and well, basically front end damage for the 22, side end damage for the 8, which causes him to get some air time, which is regular normally on for NASCAR. And then the 22 is then spun again by the 98. I do know these jokes. I'm just saying the numbers because they're a lot easier to remember. And then there's the 36, and then there's the. I have no idea what happened to him, but something happened to him. I think he just spun out. Oh god. Collected. We're gonna try and find the number 39 is. So there goes the 9. There goes the 7. Basically deflecting off each other. The 9 stops, and then I think the 39 just loses control. And you get empty direct. So here's 14. I think this is in Charlotte. And another one with Noah Gragson in it, in the number 99. A hard hit for the 44 as well. So there's like a little rundown of what happened. And this is... Oh, yeah, and there's the 11. I think he's a little bit hurt. So... I would like to go back. So... Okay, I'm glad I can have the space bar. So he gets a little bit sideways under the 20 car. That basically is... taking off the air off the car, so basically because like you drive like super close to each other, basically the air goes more into the car on the outside than the inside because more air on the outside, and that's taking the air off the car on the inside, make it a little bit hard to control and having the wheels spinning a lot more force and causing it to spin out. Tries to save it again, hits both of them, and they're both going straight into the wall. And he's spinning across the racetrack. Hits the 44 nose, and I can't. And that well, actually no, the rear at the side because the 44 wants to avoid it and keep going this way, like all these 4 cars are. The 11 car is also an innocent bystander. He gets hit by the 11 car, and then he's just then spinning. A hard impact. This is actually real time as well. Hard impact. Can't even brake. It's up in the air a lot. The 11 car is also going into the wall, and I think he does hit the wall. Yes, he does. Another hard hit. But the 44 definitely took the hardest hit in the wreck. I think there was no super barrier there as well. Talladega, what a classic way. I think that was full wide. The 16 is going to hit that wall head on. The rest are going to hit on the outside. So you can see they're already rubbing. So these 4 cars are already rubbing. They already want to take each other out. So the 20 car goes that way, basically going across the track, hitting I think that car. Yeah, it does, and also hitting that car as well. Who's also an innocent bystander. He almost flips over as well. You see that? See in the corner here. It has the 07, the 02 car. I don't actually know though. But he gets lifted by the car behind him because of how he hit the car of the wall. Because sometimes obviously the rear end goes up in the air and all that. You can't even see because of the hood is up, and the 4 car goes head on into the outside wall. The 20 cars now in the infield, including the 16. Okay, so they're just all obviously rubbing. The 16 gets turned by the 08 actually, that is, and then the 93 just pile drives the 08. Sorry, the 02 actually into the it's almost flipping him. The O2 basically triggers that and turns the 16 around, which then causes the 20 to be turned around, and that causes 68 to basically tag along with him. The 20 shots up and hits the 08 and the 93, and power drives him. So 02, sorry, and then power drives him in the rear end, and then the 4 car I think just lost control. The twin car and hits the 13. This is in okay, so this is in Bristol Motor Speedway, one of my favorite tracks. A multi-car wreck caused by the 47 or Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Getting caused by that. How long are we? Okay. So this is very easy. So there's a checkup for the 42. The 42 checks up just to take turn 3, or maybe because he got a little bit loose at the exit of turn 2. That causes the 48 to go up high because he obviously wants to go out behind him, but he wasn't that clear. So it tags the 47, which he then goes straight into the inside wall. The inside wall. I don't think the receiver barrier is there, but then he's deflected with all that force, deflects it back onto the racetrack, which is a very, very dangerous place. And then the 1 and the 41, it has nowhere to go and pile drives him. The 1 almost makes it. There goes the 8 also pile driving him. All these rest of these cars are going down low just to avoid it because they think they are just going to be safe. The 21 and the 37 start spinning. Oh, and there it is. This is in Daytona. This is the 22 of Joey Logano pushing the 18. Shoves the 18, and it's a wreck. I thought there was just going to be a wreck between the 18 and the 22. Apparently, I am wrong. So it was obviously during the Daytona 500, which another crash may happen with a certain driver. So the 22 gives the 10 a big shove across the backstretch. I think gives him. Well, I say that gives him like a huge shove. The 2 blocks him. I don't think the 22 even knew when that the 2 was still there, so he didn't even brake at all. It shoves him. The 2 car was then spinning. Everyone else is trying to avoid. Some of them are even hitting the grass. Some of them are also hitting the 2 car. Some of them are also deflected from the grass or from the apron to the wall. I think the 21 car there. I can add my skip frames. So it gets a huge shove. The 10 gets a huge shove from the 22. It's then spinning across the grass. Yeah, he's just been a he's just been a pure whatever fidget spinner. I think the 21 car gets hit by the 10. No. So he's just in the grass, and then he just loses control. He hits right on the outside wall. Let's get some help from the 1 car as well. Everyone else is in the grass, which is completely normal. Some cars also getting out of the grass, hitting either each other or the wall. It's a pretty big accident. Number 10. This is one of the first couple of flips. So I basically already know this, and yeah. So the O2 gets a little bit out of shape with the 38 pushing him. He gets a little too much of a hard push. He gives him a little bit out of shape. Tries to save it. Tags the 22 truck, which then forces down onto the 45 truck. It's in passenger side and sends flipping because of the air. Gets hit again by the O2. And sends skidding down. Getting down, and then he's going. I think he doesn't roll over. Yeah, so he doesn't roll over. See a closer look here. The O2 gets hit by the 38 in the rear end in a very awkward or funny spot. Basically gets the car or the truck out of position, and he does save it. But then he tags the 22. Everyone else is taking evasive action going down to the apron. Tagging a 45, and that sense obviously also the 22 spinning. The O2 trying to stop. He hits him on the windshield. Then obviously sends sliding and skidding down the apron. He doesn't even flip back up. He's another angle to front end. 22 sends spinning. 45 flips over. Front end gets hit. The hood is a little bit the hood is a little bit pancaked now. Number 9. I think it's a tire failure, if I remember correctly, in the Indianapolis oval track. I think it was a tire failure from the 20 car, and he's obviously now on fire because it hit the engine, and radiators are also a bit. Well, actually, no, the radiator is actually not bust. It's just the engine just been taking a hard impact. Sometimes they need oxygen. Here's number 8 again at the thing at the Coke 0400. So this is not the Daytona 500. 22 gets in front of the 11 to take the lead because of a huge run. 43 takes the lead, but then the 11, you saw there. The 11 tries to basically get a gap that no longer exists. Tries to pass it there. See, because well, look, you can't really fault him because there is a little bit of space here that I think he thinks the 22 is going to go back down the inside, but then he obviously tags him in a very awkward spot, sends him into the 43, and then the 43 saves it. It gets full behind the front end, and the huge spin happens. A huge wreck also happens. It collects everyone almost. Then spinning goes the A car. Some are also on the apron. Some were also collected by innocent bystanders, which most of them are. So first it hits with a funny angle to 22 and the 43. Then the 24 basically gets to the middle, which doesn't really works well. Obviously touching and banging over here in these three cars here. More banging, there's some sparks flying. I think there's a tire down. The 21 finishes off, turns him around, hits the 42, which then I think then goes back down to the apron and hits the wall, and then it hits the 48. Yep. And then now he's still spinning out. Collects the 41. This 96 was also out. I think it was a tire failure, and then it was also, yeah, it was a tire failure. Yeah, you saw the rims there. More touching, because I think the move by the 24 actually caused the tire failure and caused him to spin out and lose control. So there's the first impact. And then the second impact was that one, was you can see some sparks flying. The 21 spins them out into the wall. 48 also collects the 8. This is Indianapolis. I don't know what this actually works. So this is another tire failure. Tire failures are very often here in the Indianapolis oval configuration. You see that like the wheel bearings are also a little bit on fire. They're now extinguished, and now the back end. I can't really announce this because it's just a tire failure. It goes straight on into the wall. Boom. Wheel bearings is on fire as well, mainly from the suspension, and that causes it to be on fire in the first place. And nothing else really to say other than it was its tire failure, and the wheel bearing was on fire as well. And the fire goes on underneath the car, which is obviously where the air is also under as well, because some air is obviously under the car, pushing it under there as well. A very aggressive move by the 77 goes on to the apron, spins out, and yeah, collects everyone. You basically know that. Because you can tell by the 77's aggression, that him hitting the basically him hitting the apron, actually the 37 actually didn't really give him a lot of room. So he hits the apron and he goes, I think he just lost control of this car and shuts up into the wall, almost missing the fall just a bit. And then the 95 was in it. The 37 had a hard impact. Here's the number 5. So this is a very big one. I think this is in Kentucky, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is Kentucky, and also to finish off the race. So you see at the top of your screen, the 7 car is already out of control. Tries to save it, counter saves it, hits the, I think that's a 90 car, which he is then spinning hard into just a concrete wall. Because of the force, almost flips over. You see he's just completely just off the air. You see, actually, his window net is also down. That's a 61 car. His window net is down. I think you saw it go down a bit. There's a 52 for some reason spinning out. I have no idea why. Number 4. Now, I already know where this is going to happen. Yeah. So, as I already saw in this crash, you see that the 14 is pushing the 48, so you need to basically focus on these two cars, the 14 and the 48. basically pushing. The 14 is pushing the 48, hits him in a very awkward position near the right and near the left hand quarter panel, the rear, which is then spinning into the one car, and he basically almost was, because he hits the outside wall with such a tremendous amount of speed, and that obviously causes the car to be up in the air. But because there are cars actually underneath him, that causes him to basically go crowd surfing on top of two cars and landing him safely back on ground. See that the 41, it was definitely underneath it because his hood was just flown off because of the amount of the mass and the speed of those cars. So yeah, I think the 14 was also underneath him, but that only has the roof. But the 41 was definitely underneath him during our whole thing. It hits him in a very awkward position in terms of spinning. And I think with the 41 also right near him and right below him as well, that also helped the one car to get some air time, like when he impacted the wall. And that mostly gets him up into the air over the 14 and lands him safely back on the ground. Some cars are spinning out as well. Yeah, just being collected in the infield here. There's another one of a flip. This is a very weird one. I think this is in Kansas? I think. I actually don't actually know where this is. I think this is in Kansas. I think if I remember correctly. Um, you already see here. Just this is just a problem. So you see the three cars are down the apron, which is legal. Wondering. However, the 7 car, for some reason, doesn't go up into the track early enough. I don't know why. So I'm spinning. The 21, the 68, and there's the 18 as well. The 19 also gets collected. And by just how he impacted the wall, and the 18 also being there as well, caused it to flip over. Basically be on the side first. Everyone is basically trying to avoid the flipping 21 car. So even though he's not really flipping, he's just on his roof. Riding along the wall for a little bit. And then fully on his roof. Still some sparks flying. Still some sparks flying because there's just a sheet metal in it. And so still some sparks flying, and he comes into a stop on his roof. The 15 was very close of hitting there, and you just saw him. Yeah, so the 7 car basically loses control, that shoots him up, and that also, with that angle of a hit, and then he instantly turns into the driver's side, but on the hood. Well, not on the hood. That's the front left. Yeah, so the front left, and then the 18 basically giving him more force to hit the wall, just flips him over. And roof is on the wall for a little bit longer, and then it's not, and then yeah, it's a very scary accident. I would not want to be there, but yeah. So I actually okay. So this is a humongous hit. I think this was also in. I think this was in. Where was this? I actually have no clue, but this is somewhere. So we're in the backstretch. The 95 gets a huge shot by the 6 car. It was not Ryan Newman. I think that was Ross Chastain. 95 gets then just shots up. The 37 I think doesn't have brakes. I don't think it has brakes. And then it's just in an angle that causes him to almost very close to flipping over. And then he hits the 6 car later as well. So just the way he hit that angle, and also because that wall does not have any safer barriers or anything. So all of that energy is just, it has to be absorbed by the car. The car itself absorbs it, which is why it just deflects it in just so much, and almost flipping it as well. And obviously he rear ends the 6 car. See, here's another angle. Well, you do actually see some. You actually do see some safer barriers, but it just doesn't really because it does absorb the energy. It just doesn't absorb, I don't think, that much energy. Um, but it just also depends on the speed and the angle you're having the car crash. Flips over and lands. Luckily, he does land on his wheels. And obviously, with the famous one, which everyone knew because it was just worldwide, the 12 car gets a shot from the 11, goes down from the inside. The 6 car wants to block. And he does get a block, but then he goes bigger. Then he gets another shove, which sends him spinning into the outside wall, flipping him because he's in like a 200 miles an hour. And then then the 32 car right there hits him in the driver's side door, head on, flipping him even more and landing him on his roof, sliding him on the driver's side, on the driver's side of the car, and coming to his arrest, and also a light as well. You also see a bit as well. I think a little bit longer. The fuel also comes out. So you see how loose the 12 car gets. A little bit loose there. It was just like a late reaction because he was just getting such a shove, and then it gets blocked by the 6 car, and then he just shoves him, turns him in a weird angle, flipping him, and then this is just the scariest one, flipping him over in the driver's side. Everyone does avoid it except for the 32 car coming across the racetrack, hitting the outside wall, flipping him, which he does hit the rear end as well because of the force of it, and then driver's side, right on the driver's side as well, caving him in the roof. See that the roof is now just pancaked onto the structure. Oh shit. Okay, so that is basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit different of a video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Leave a comment as well if you actually like this as well. There's me just talking about how this crash happened and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.